Hello everyone, my name is Allison and I'm a teen librarian at the Schaumburg Township District Library, and this is the 7th episode of Lunch and Listen, where I invite you to grab your lunch and sit back and relax while I share some young adult reading recommendations based on a weekly theme. Today's theme is anthologies. So you might be asking yourself, what's an anthology? Well, the anthologies I'm highlighting today are collections of short stories by various young adult authors. For those of you that haven't tried reading anthologies before and may be skeptical, here are some reasons as to why you should give them a chance. Are we ready? 1. You can pick and choose what stories you want to read based on your interest. You don't have to read all of them if you do not want to. 2. Short stories take less time to read. It will be much easier to find time to fit in a short story than a whole entire book. 3. Since an anthology features stories by a variety of authors, you may just discover a new favorite author, and then you can go out and check out all of their books. How awesome is that? 4. Each anthology offers a variety of stories, which then keeps the book fresh and also offers a variety of perspectives and styles. 5. There are a lot of YA anthologies on a variety of topics to choose from as they continue to gain popularity. There is pretty much a YA anthology for everyone. So, with that being said, since I know I just convinced you to give anthologies a try, here are some YA anthologies that I recommend. So I'm about to throw a whole lot of titles at you pretty quickly, so get ready. The first YA anthology I'm going to talk about today is Unbroken, 13 stories starring teens with disabilities written by authors with disabilities. Marique Neckham, who is known for the book This Is Where It Ends, is not only the editor of this anthology, but one of the contributing authors. The stories in this book span across genres, including contemporary, fantasy, and science fiction. Alright, so next up is A Phoenix First Must Burn, which is edited by Patricia Caldwell. This anthology features 16 stories of black girl magic, resistance, and hope, featuring scientists, witches, priestesses, and rebels, all with their own complex stories. Some of the contributing authors include Elizabeth Acevedo, which is the author of the wonderful books The Poet X and Clap When You Land, and Danielle Clayton, author of The Bells, which is an awesome book that I talked about on an earlier episode of Lunch and Listen. Alright, so now I'm going to highlight the wonderful LGBTQIA historical fiction title, All Out, that includes 17 stories of LGBTQIA teens throughout the ages, including a retelling of Little Red Riding Hood set in the 1870s featuring a transgender soldier, and stories about artists and pirates and witches. Some well-known authors that contributed to this one include Taylor K. Mejia, known for We Set the Dark on Fire, and Robin Talley, who has written many YA novels, including Pulp. Alright, the next anthology is for anyone who is a fan of mysteries, thrillers, or true crime. And it's called Life is Short and Then You Die, First Encounters with Murder. I will say that just like the title implies, these stories are pretty dark. So some of the contributed authors in this book include the famous horror writer R.L. Stine and Emmy Laybourne, which is a fantastic author of the survival series Monument 14. All right, I told you I was going fast today. Next up is It's a Whole Spiel, Love, Latkes, and Other Jewish Stories, which include stories where hilarious pranks at a Hanukkah party ensue, and a nerve-wracking first-time meeting of the significant other's parents over Shabbat dinner. This book features another great roundup of authors, including Alex London, who's known for the Skybound Saga, and Rachel Lynn Solomon, who just had a brand new book come out that's really good, called Today, Tonight, Tomorrow. All right, now let me tell you about the perfect book to read during the upcoming fall months. This one's called Toil and Trouble, 15 Tales of Women and Witchcraft. Once again, the title really says it all for this one, which is filled with witches from the past, the present, and the future, casting spells and curses. It features amazing authors like Brandy Colbert, known for Little and Lion, and Emery Lord, who's the author of Open Road Summer and When We Collided. All right, and last but definitely not least, the book we will be reading for the library's August teen book discussion, and guess what? It is indeed an anthology. We will be reading Black Enough, which is a collection of stories about being young and Black in America. The authors that contributed to this anthology are some of my favorite authors of all time, including Justina Ireland, who wrote Dread Nation, that I also talked about in an earlier episode of Lunch and Listen, Nick Stone, who's the author of Dear Martin and Odd One Out, and Jason Reynolds, who has written numerous middle grade and YA books, including Long Way Down and American Boys. So remember that Black Enough is an anthology of short stories. So if you don't have time to read every single short story before our group discussion, that's okay. You just read what interests you. And I promise you'll still have plenty to talk about. The book discussion will take place online on Zoom on Tuesday, August 25th. And you can register with the link that I will be putting in the description below. And once you sign up, you will be notified when your book and snack pack is ready to be picked up at the library. That's right. Not only do you get a free copy of this awesome book, but you get free snacks. I hope you join us in discussing this book, and I know I'm looking forward to it. All right, everyone, that pretty much is today's video. I really hope that you heard at least one young adult anthology that I talked about today that sounds interesting. I tried to highlight a variety of titles, but there are even more out there on other topics if that interests you. A list of the books I discussed today, along with links to previous Lunch and Listen videos, are going to be in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a nice afternoon, and please stay safe. Happy reading!